this computer and get going. Okay, so this is the August 25th PWN Zoom call. Welcome everybody, say hi.
Hi.
In fact, Deidre, I know that you're really good at this. Can you do a screenshot for me and send it? Because sometimes I forget to capture that. I think this is really cool. The fact that we are continuing to network even though we are still shut down. And just to let you know, as I think I've mentioned in past calls, we are going to continue this. I mean, I think the good thing about the COVID thing is that now we're kind of getting used to, hopefully, Zoom calls, which is really good because now we can connect in a different way. We can conduct more frequently than our live meetings. And if you happen to miss a Zoom call, we record that. So before we do our commercials, I'm going to kind of do a little bit more show and tell into the website and things I've been working on. But meantime, again, welcome. I think we're just going to go ahead and jump into our presentation because I know that Jonelle has a lot of great information to share on her business. And you should see the share screen. I gave you the share screen option now, Jonelle. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself and then start talking about what you're going to share with us. And I'm going to give you a little signal maybe about 25 minutes in because we're going to, you know, we have a 30-minute kind of cap on this.
Can y'all see my screen?
You can see your screen.
Is it full screen?
Yes. It is your home. I think you did. There you go. There you go. Now you're doing the, yeah, now you're doing the screen.
Well,
so Jonelle Tannahill, everybody.
Well, I'm so excited to be here and talk with you today about my favorite subject, and that is your home. And so I'm glad to be here. One of the things I have been learning in putting this presentation together is everybody is working from home right now. IBM just did a big study, and this study showed that 74% of the respondents were working from home, and 50% of them had never worked from home before. So they're working with IT and they're trying to get their computer set up, and a computer if they don't have one, and their laptop networked, and all of that stuff that goes along with working from home. But further in the study, I read that 54% of those surveyed liked working home enough that they did not want to go back into an office environment. That's 50% of those people that are working from home want to stay in the home environment at least once a week. So maybe once a week, maybe work it out where they work at home a few times a week, or perhaps that they lose their desk in the office environment and work solely from home. And so that gave me kind of new food for thought as I'm thinking about creating spaces for people, because we might not be creating a temporary space or a space that just looks aesthetically amazing, but we have to be sure it's a space that's highly functional too. And so one of the other things in my research I found out was that Pinterest is seeing a 760% increase in the number of people that are searching for the words home office. And so that's a huge increase, probably one of the highest increases I've seen on Pinterest. So it is on everyone's mind. It's been happening not just since March, but people have been migrating to home offices probably since the late 80s. And so a lot of what I'm going to show you today, you've probably seen before or kind of had this idea, or you might be doing it at home, but perhaps I'll show it in a fresh or a new perspective or something that you haven't thought of before. And so that is my goal. But before I get started on my PowerPoint presentation, I wanted to do a little icebreaker with you and do something kind of fun. And so I invited Lori to kind of give me an idea, but maybe Susan, you can help too, as to, I can't see everybody on the screen when I have my...
You're going to have to do a stop the screen share temporarily.
Okay.
So that we can see everybody.
Oh, there we go. I got everybody. Okay. So we're going to play the game, Would You Rather? Have you played that before? I play this with my grandkids all the time. Would you rather? And so I'm going to ask you two questions, and you're going to give me a number one if you'd rather do the first thing that I'm saying, or a number two or a peace sign if you'd rather do the second. So everybody is, well, right now the trend is plants, putting plants in your home. The artificial plants aren't as popular right now. They're putting fresh, new, real live plants in the home. So would you rather decorate your home with succulents, number one, or with traditional house plants, number two? So give me a one or a two. Ooh, see lots of twos. Oh, there's a one down there, Yvonne. Oh, very good. So everybody, okay. So now we know. It looks like, yeah, it's like not too, it's kind of even. So that's good. All right, so here, my guess is that all of you decorate for Christmas. In fact, I don't know if you know, but I'm an interior decorator and I decorate for Christmas as well. I do 12 to 15 trees a year for people or for businesses. And so I know you decorate for Christmas, but my question is, would you rather decorate for Easter, one, or for Halloween, two? Both are becoming more popular. Both are becoming more popular. I knew, wow, there's a lot of twos. Let me see. It looks like twos are winning. Lori, I don't see your hand. Are you a one or a two? Easter or Halloween? Okay, two. Very. Oh, look, both for Yvonne.
She looks
Well,
like bunny
people
ears.
ask me all the time, what is my favorite holiday to decorate for? And you know what I tell them? The next one, of course. It's much more fun. I love all of them. Okay, the trends have really been showing a mixing of a lot of patterns and a lot of solids in a room. So we're seeing more than ever where everything is kind of mixed. But let's say I'm going to wave my magic wand and you can only decorate with one. You can only decorate in all pattern or all solids. What would you decorate with? All pattern or all solids? Ah, this tells me a lot. Oh, wow. Okay, so I have two very daring people because decorating with all pattern is harder to pull off, but decorating for solids always looks timeless and classic. So that's great. All right, the third question is, fourth question is, oh, if you were given a second home, that just somebody said, you've won a second home, and you had a choice between having it at the beach or having it in the mountains by a lake, which one would you choose? A beach or the mountains by a lake? Oh, wow, we're like divided. And Kay doesn't even know she wants both. You want both, don't you, Kay? So very good. So wouldn't it be great if we could have that? So the last question is, if you had a fourth bedroom in your room and you did not need it as a guest room, would you make it a TV media room or would you make it a dedicated office? Which one would you make this extra room that just came into your home? Wow, there's a lot of dedicated offices there. Okay, well that's good because that's what I'm going to talk about today. So we're going to segue back to this share screen and we're going to talk about dedicated offices. So hold on one second while I get my screen back up and we will go on to the PowerPoint presentation. Are you seeing my screen? Yep, awesome. Okay, well, designing a home office is just like designing any part of your room. It really takes coming up with a plan and deciding how much space do you need, what kind of lighting do you need, where does your desk need to go, how much desk space do you need to spread out with, the types of computers that you're going to use. Are you going to use a laptop? Do you need dual screens? All of that needs to go into a design plan so that you can put together an office that makes sense for you. And so today I'm going to show you more offices than you've seen in a long time. In fact, more than I had the alphabet for. So you'll see there's letters down here at the bottom. And so throughout this talk, I want you to make a little note to yourself when you see an office that you love and that is an inspiration for you. And then at the end, I'm going to have you guys put those in the chat box because I'm curious what this group thinks of as the ideal office or what they would like as an office. And so it's kind of my research survey of all of you. And so if you were to say, I love this closet office, but isn't this nice? Look at the lighting and it's got nice space for the desk. You could put an A. Or if you liked this dual working office, maybe you work with your husband and you'd like, or your significant and you'd like a dual working space. You really like how this is clean and, you know, nice and functional. You could put a B. And so just keep track. I'm not going to limit you to one. You can have a couple of them that you like. So if Deidre knows me, I'm not super limiting as a person. I like to be creative and hear everyone's thoughts. So we're going to get started. So on the left is really talking about, we can put an office in many places, including a closet. The key to putting it in a small space like that, though, is really lighting and making sure that you can make it as efficient and effective as possible. And dual workspaces are great, but I've tried it with my husband and it didn't work because we have different working styles. And so even though this dual workspace is beautiful and very highly functional, the people that work in it might not be able to work in it together because I'm kind of loud and I like to talk on the phone, and he's very concentrated, he's an analytical, so it just was too hard for us to work in the same environment. This is my office, it's behind me, but I thought I'd show you a picture of the whole thing when it's all clean and looks perfect. I was on the holiday home tour for Placer County, for Placer, the schools, and I decorated my office and they were so surprised that, you know, I didn't work in it for at least 3 weeks while I was decorating it and cleaning it out and making it look perfect. So I thought you might want to see the office space that I live in. I collect books and I really enjoy them. And so you'll see my book collection there and antiques. And on the left, you'll see one of my antique pieces that I keep all of my office supplies in. So when you're going to be considering an office for yourself, it's always a good idea to get out and start looking for ideas.
Jonelle?
Yeah.
We're getting some feedback from somewhere. Do you have another mic on or something? Because everybody else, let's see.
It might be a cell phone.
I don't have a cell phone on.
Okay, I'm not getting the feedback now, so I'm trying to make sure everybody's muted. So go ahead, sorry.
And I didn't hear it, I apologize. Okay, so the high-end office, I mean, if you want an office, this happens to be, was for a client. So this is a one I had in my file. But the things you want to consider would be, do you need seating in the office? What kind of a writing desk? How are you going to use the office? What kind of storage? So as you're going through Pinterest or magazines, if that's how you do it, or on the internet, just looking and searching and Googling things, you can start gathering those pictures and putting them on a PowerPoint slide or on a Word document to kind of give you that idea of your design plan and the components of this office that you need to start thinking about, right? Sometimes people have a couch that they can, you know, move from the living room into the office. Sometimes you need to make a purchase, like a chair that has, you know, a nice back or that is on wheels. And so this is kind of your, I guess, mood board or your inspiration board as you're going through the process of figuring out your office. So here we have office C, beautiful lighting, and lighting is my #1 tip that if you do nothing else in your office, you should really reevaluate your lighting. There's several different layers of lighting in every room of the home, but in the office, those layers are even more important because you're doing a lot of reading and looking at computers and task work. And so in this room where the window is, there's a lot of ambient lighting naturally coming in, which really lights up this beautiful room. Then overhead, there's a chandelier for overhead lighting. Further, I have the magnifying glass up high because they do have can lights on the next few ceiling trays. And then there should be a light where the chair is for a reading light, but there isn't one there, but there should be. And then there needs to be a task light at the desk. So you really want to evaluate your lighting to make sure that you're not straining your eyes or making it more difficult for yourself. And so we can take any office and do the same test where we go, okay, is there overhead lighting? Is there good ambient lighting? Is there task lighting, reading lighting? We can look at each room and dissect it. And this is room D. The next tip I'm going to talk about are the walls. What you paint your walls sounds silly, but it is kind of important in an office. This person clearly, and a lot of these pictures came off Pinterest, so I'm kind of working with a story, but I don't really know the true story. But she definitely, or he, is very flamboyant, right? I mean, they want to be seen. They want you to see their style. Beautiful photographs. It could be a photographer with their beautiful photographs behind them. It could be somebody who likes 1950s, and these are their collection of photographs, so you know a little bit more about them for that. Beautiful lamps there on the desk for adequate lighting for while you're using your laptop. There's lighting coming in that's ambient because clearly there's lighting from a window to the left, and there's probably overhead lighting. And so it's just, but not everyone could live in this flamboyant a room, right? And this is E if you're loving this. And so we also, of course, this is more what I see in a traditional home, is we just need to lighten things up with a light colored walls. We need to lighten things up because this is a fairly dark room. And so they had to use an off-white creamy colored paint in order to keep it light enough to work in here and not feel like you're in a dungeon. And I experienced that in my own office here in the library because I had darker walls. I thought they looked so good in a library, but as soon as I started working in here, I had to lighten them up because it just made me feel oppressed to be in a room that was so dark all the time. And so I had to change that. The third tip is desk space. You want to be sure that you have adequate space for the job that you do. Some people, like my husband's an architect, so he has to lay out plans. So he has to have a lot of space to lay out plans. Myself, I have to have multiple desks because I have to have a desk where I put all my samples and fabrics and tile and things I'm looking at, and then a desk that I'm actually using my computer and working at. This L-shaped desk on the left is a really good solution when you need to spread out. And then on the right, in this beautiful gray, gray colored office, they've just used IKEA rolling, filing cabinets and an IKEA top to make a very simple desk. So this room, she probably doesn't need a whole lot of storage or have a whole lot of space to work out with. So she has made it very simple in this room. And that's G and H, if anyone likes those offices. Above your desk, this is just kind of a bonus. I really like to keep something inspirational because you're at your desk, at your computer so much. So in front of my computer, I like to keep something inspirational, whether it be on the left, cards I've gotten from friends or beautiful pictures, or maybe my inspiration board that I made that I want to keep in front of me, my goals and kind of what I'm looking to move towards. Or it could be like down in my studio downstairs, I have a lot of my I guess tchotchkes and things that I love and sentimental things that I have above my desk that make me think of my family or think of how lucky I am to be doing something that I love. And so there's lots of different ways that you can feel inspired just by putting artwork or sentimental things where you're looking at from the computer all the time. And then the desk space, this is another kind of desk space, and this is even more simplistic. This is at the end of a family room. It's a wall unit, and the bottom shelf of this wall unit is deeper so that you could sit with your laptop and check emails or write a few bills, email a few bills. Or, if you had guests coming, they could actually plant there and do some work and check emails as well. And so this is, again, beautiful pictures, and there's a great sense of place there for you to be able to go and use a laptop, but it's not too consuming in this family room. And that is I, if you're wondering. So we do have to keep storage solutions. So all of us, unless you're completely paperless, and if so, I envy you in the more than you know, because I'm not, but I would love to be. If you're not completely paperless, you still have office supplies. This closet, I think, is a great example of we just have stuff when we work from home. And so the safe and the magazine holders and those boxes that probably have documents or pictures if they are maybe doing photo albums, but whatever that is that you keep in your office, it's nice to be able to put it behind closed doors so that you can have peace at your desk and not have everything all around you distracting you. And so we do have to sometimes have a storage need. And so a lot of times our storage need can also be bookcases. And here you see on the left, they've got these wonderful boxes that they're using to store something that they work with all the time. And this on the left is a office that's just a wall off of a family room. So it's not a dedicated office, it's just space off of a family room where you can just run over there and sit and put your laptop on that little table, which doesn't seem too practical. So I hope they don't do it all the time, but they have all their supplies there on that wall. Those are textbooks and different things that they need for their work. On the right, we have probably a guest room, and this guest room is being used for a home office. And so they have baskets to kind of hide the clutter, and they can just bring a laptop computer and sit there and look outside and enjoy this home office. And this could be somebody who maybe they're into genealogy. And so this is their place where they can go and work on their craft or hobby as well. And that is K. So shelving, though, comes in all forms. And so one of the things I did in my office here is I put storage behind the bookcases. So I can open up my bookcase, go behind there, and I have storage of office supplies and things that are unsightly. And then I can just put my bookcase back. You also can get these on the right, these IKEA, I'm sorry, it's a little blurry, it looks like, but these are the IKEA Billy shelves. And these are put together, and a handyman did the top woodwork to make them look like custom built-in pieces, but they're actually very economical shelves from IKEA. And then this becomes a place that you can display things. If you go further to this one over here with the white cabinets at the far left, you'll see they have beautiful display places, but then down below they have closed shelving too, which is how I have done my office, because there's just enough stuff that isn't very pretty that I don't want out on the shelves, to be honest. And so you can have kind of the best of both worlds by having shelves on top and then storage on the bottom. And then I really liked the center picture with the black, where they kind of made that shelving unit really stand out and to be something of importance, because this is probably, you know, a smaller workspace, and they wanted to, that kind of became their focal point of the room. And the baskets keep it from looking unsightly because they can throw the smaller tchotchke things into those baskets. And this is one of my favorite pieces from IKEA, and I've used this in kids' rooms especially. But this is a divider where you can have drawers and cabinets on both sides of this piece, so that if kids have it between their two beds, they both can have access to their school supplies. And then the Expedit desk is a great desk for $50 that they can use to do their homework. It's very simple and streamlined. But this piece isn't just for children's rooms. It also can be used to divide a family room. If you aren't as tidy with your desk area on the other side, people wouldn't be able to see necessarily through it, because you could have the closed boxes on the bottom half. And so I understand that everybody doesn't have to have a clean desk, but it's also nice to see a room like a family room and not to see a messy desk as you're looking around the family room. After you've cleaned it up, it's nice to have the desk maybe behind something where it wouldn't be so unsightly. And it could be that this could be the dining room area that they're no longer using as a dining room. About 8 years ago, I started really seeing that trend where people were calling me and saying, well, what can I do with my dining room? Because we eat in the living area, in the family room area where the nook, I guess the old-fashioned nook would be, or we entertain outside, we eat outside on the patio all the time, so we don't need a formal dining room. So we're constantly coming up with ideas once I learn more about the client and how their lifestyle is, and kind of what would be the best solution to change that dining room into. My tip number 6 is keep your printer close. I can't tell you how many times my husband's office is on the other side of the house. And so what do I have to do? I go to print something and I have to walk all the way to the other side, and I go into his office and I'm looking for my piece. Oh, it didn't print. So I have to walk all the way back to my office and try to get it to print again. Then I walk back over. It's out of paper. I have to walk back to my office and get my paper. it didn't work. It made me so much less efficient. And it's good for me to get up and walk around, but I should do it when I want to do it, not because I have to go get a piece of paper. And so these cabinets on the left in office L are very streamlined, but they didn't make it so they could put their printer inside the cabinet. So the printer sits here on this little return on the left. On the right-hand side, these are pieces you can buy at RC Willey or Macy's. And it's especially good if you're an apartment dweller and you're not going to build in something. You can buy something like this, and then they are actually, they have holes cut in for the printer so that you can keep your printer in the shelf or in the drawer or behind closed doors. And so that's a way that you can still use the printer all the time and have it right next to you, but it's not necessarily sitting on your desk taking up valuable real estate that you might need when you're working. Now this, woo, this is nice. And for those of you that really like the bling, but this one here, you can open up those cabinets and there is a printer inside there, and there are books and papers and everything you would see in an office. But because this room is at the front of the house, they wanted to make it look as chic and beautiful as possible. And I think they've done a good job. But they hid everything else. Even the lamp, they get out every time they sit at that desk, they get the lamp out of the cupboard and plug it in because they didn't want the unsightly cords. So maybe not as practical, but a beautiful home office nonetheless, with a hidden printer as well. How many of you watched Candace Olsen? Anybody here? Candace Olsen? She was on, of course me, HGTV. And she was very popular in the 90s. And this is a very old picture. It was actually a magazine picture I cut out from my potential home office. But what I really wanted to show you is that home offices have been around a long time, and that she took a basement with no windows. This has no windows. It's just a big basement block wall basement. And she redid it for a family. And she has a family study area here, an office area. And then further on is the family room. And those drapes are covering nothing. They're just pretend, because you're in a room, you kind of expect there to be drapes, right? Or windows, but there are no windows. But she has the printer. And then who remembers the fax machine? That's what that lower printer looking thing, yeah, was. It was the fax machine. But what I liked about it, it's kind of timeless and classic. I would love to sit in this room and work myself today. And so this might be from the 80s, in fact. But another space, this is O. This is P, and beautiful colors, don't you think? Gorgeous. So some people are energized by color. And if you're energized by color, I really think it would be a benefit to you to add color into your workspace so that you can feel that energy when you walk into it and you can enjoy it. Yep, Julie's got it in hers. I was going to comment that. And so color, it can be really energizing and fun. But some people don't get energized by color, and they really like the kind of softer look and softer paint and very cohesive look of lighter colors. But I liked this because it had cabinetry, it had places for books. It kind of uses all the tips I've talked about so far, including the lighting is very good here. Maybe a task lamp over the iPad would be one thing I might add. And speaking of adding, I think everyone needs to add a part of their life to their home office so that you can tell something about you when you walk into the office. Here on the left, somebody's collecting trains, little antique trains, so they found a beautiful way to display them. Their desk is probably facing these two chairs so they can see them and look at them as they're working, and it's kind of just a positive thing. Some people really are into gardening, or they love plants. These beautiful round terrariums are hung in the window. Isn't that nice? And so while you're working, you've got these green terrariums, which is really a joy, just brings joy to your day. And this last one is a sculptor, and he's an artist. And of course, why shouldn't he want to look at some of this work that he has and what he's been doing and things he's collected over time? I think it's wonderful to have that in your home office. It's something to talk about when people come see you in there. This person collects antiques and books. They're kind of minimalist, which is another look that's very popular right now. This is Q. And it's beautiful. I mean, I just think it looks so pretty. I love the way the bookshelves have that dark color behind them that really make their collection of antique books stand out. Well, what do you think this guy collects? He collects beer cans. So he's got them all there behind him. I think it looks cool. And his desk is very minimalist. He's probably a neat net like my husband. And it looks great, really nice. And this is R. Okay, so number 8 is shared space. And some of us have to share a space. Some of us are sharing space with our kids. Anybody here sharing space with their kids? Because I know that's happening when I go over to my daughter's house. And she's sitting at her desk, and then she's got the little one sitting next to her so she can monitor his learning experience right now. But when you're sharing space, you want to be sure everybody has adequate space for their storage and to spread out their job and what they're working on. So on the left, this is all built-in. It's probably in a small bedroom, I'm guessing. On the right, this is Pottery Barn, more Pottery Barn that you can order online, pieces of furniture and assemble them into different configurations. It's a good, reasonable way to go as far as price rise because they're not all built in. And you could see that they're even kind of facing different directions because it is awkward to face each other when you're working together. Now, I'm suspecting that on the left, you know, she might use the desk during the day and he might use it at night or vice versa. And so they're probably not always sitting at the same, looking at each other the whole time because that would be awkward. That's all I'm saying. And this is another shared workspace, very well done. They've got plenty of room and space. Again, I would probably move the desks so they were facing us, facing out, rather than facing each other, because it can be distracting to be facing another human while you're trying to work. This is you. I loved this. This is very minimalistic. This is at the end of a family room, shared seating. They just bring their laptop and do some work. And then, you know, really the millennials prefer to use their laptop on the couch or in bed or outside on the patio. And so they're not going for big office areas or big desks in their houses. They're looking for something like this that's just very minimal. They can just go on and plug in and do their work and then put the laptop away. So, but I love the pop of color, don't you? It's kind of pretty. That's D. So number 9 is dual purpose offices, and I get this the most. So this is the most what I get, and that is someone has a bedroom and they want to make it into an office, or they have an office and they want to make it into a place where guests can also sleep. And so this was one idea that we had, was to put the bed actually in the closet because the closet wasn't being used at all. And so this is from Decorating Den. So I did not do this work, but I talked to the gal that did. And so what they did was they handmade a platform that could go up carrying the mattress. The bedding is held on the left side of the closet, and on the right there's a lamp and books and anything your guest might need. And then they have the desk area, which they use all the time. And you can see across from there, they have a beautiful seating area too, and windows. And I just think it looks well put together. And it can be very modern as well. And this is a double bed that goes right back into the wall. It's all built in. And when the doors are closed, you'd never guess there was a bed back there inside. And it allows you a lot of space in the room the majority of the time. Because really, most people don't have guests that are there every week or every month. You know, most of the time it's a couple of times a year, maybe 4. This is another one where the office area is hidden by this barn door. And then if you swing it the other way, it hides the bathroom when there's someone in there using it. So what a fun concept to be able to take this barn door and go both ways depending on your use. Very clever. That's XX. See, I ran out of. And this is Y. And this is an area where a guest room, and you can see the end of the bed in the stripe, where they just, in a guest room, you don't always use the closet, right? It's because they're guests there. They're not using the closet necessarily. And so what they did was they put a little office area in there for her, you know, her hobbies or his hobbies, where they could work on something and then just close the drape when the guests come so that it's not an eyesore, I guess. And that little bench goes right in, but I would prefer a better chair for this. I hope they have one, but they can, if they're going to sit any period of time, they really would need a better chair and some better lighting. Probably under the cabinet lighting would work out better. On the right side, Z is really, you could just in any guest room, just have a cute desk and some paintings in a mirror and bring your laptop and work in there anytime you want. It just depends on how much stuff comes along with your job, right? How much stuff you need to be able to do your work effectively. This is AA. It was a beautiful, formal living room that was underutilized. So the second family that came in completely redid it and made it into a home office. And I love the bright color. I think it's beautiful. Now, I couldn't work in that bright a color. It's not my personality, but oh my gosh, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Right off the front entry of the home. And so it's very striking and always looks very nice, I'm sure.
So Jonelle, you're about 30 minutes in, just to let you know.
Okay. Well, I got so excited. I couldn't stop. I mean, there was just so many fun things to share with you. I'm going to just click through a couple of these slides. They're beautiful, huh? The one thing, if you're using a laptop, I just want to be sure and tell you, be sure for occasional use, it's fine to kind of hunch over a laptop, but you really sacrifice your posture and it's really not good for you. So you really want to be mindful of that and sit back into a comfortable chair and adjust the laptop so that it's high enough. It's better for you to adjust your wrist to be tweaked longer than to have your back tweaked. And so full-time users really should get a docking station and have a permanent situation where you can effectively use your laptop as a computer. And that's because of ergonomics. And I'm not going to get into ergonomics today, but it's so important. If you work from home and you're finding your back is hurting or you're getting a neck pain, you know, you go ahead, you can either look at this link on YouTube that a chiropractor is sharing about ergonomics, or you go ahead and make an appointment with an ergonomics specialist to come to your home and measure everything and adjust it. I mean, I had that done and I'm so glad I did because I don't have any back pain. I feel very lucky. So I'm going to close with, in keeping that, come up with a plan, get some inspiration and come up with a plan of what you want to do with your office so that you have something cohesive you can put together. So it's not a hodgepodge of, oh, I got this chair and oh, this lamp might work. And, you know, try to come up with a plan of what you want to do to make your home office beautiful and inviting for you to work in. So I love what I do and talking about design. So I wanted to just give you a heads up that I have a monthly design talk that's on a webinar, just like we're doing here. It's on the second Monday of the month at 4 p.m. And it would be a great opportunity for you to learn more about other aspects of your home. Next month in September 14th, I'll be talking about lighting, and I have a lighting expert coming on board who's just a dynamo, and she is going to tell you everything you need to know about lighting in your home. And so I hope you'll join us for this call by just going to my website /date, and you can sign up for that. So I want to thank you for having me come out today. It went so fast. It was so fun. I'm so glad that I got to share with you my passion. And if you have any questions or need anything, please give me a call. And if you'd like my free home office tips sheet, just go onto my website and you can sign up for my newsletter and I will send it away to you. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Jonelle. Since we weren't able to get through all your slides, can you create a slide deck? And
sure.
send it to me and I will forward it to all the attendees because it'd be nice for us to kind of maybe revisit some of the examples. You did some great research and great examples. So again, put in your pics of the offices we did see for Jonelle's research. I'm sure she'd appreciate that. Yeah, and does anybody have any quick questions for Jonelle? We have a few minutes. We can address a couple questions. We're all good. We're all going to kind of relook at our own offices and implement some of those ideas. It was great, Jonelle. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. So we're going to wrap up with our commercials in a second. But what I wanted to do is a couple of screen shares for you. So This is the Placer Women's Network. And I just want to remind you, in case this may be your first Zoom meeting and a call, instead of getting the spreadsheets, which we were getting live, there is now a page. So as you register for each Zoom call, your name will appear in this area here. So this is kind of like the equivalent of the spreadsheet. So it's up for 2 weeks. So if you hear a commercial that you really want to follow up on, here's a place where all the attendees who registered showed up. Some people I don't think are here, like Ellie. I didn't see her log in unless she came in a little bit late. But again, all your contact information is here, so in case you want to follow up with somebody. Also, there is a new area for the Zoom recordings. So on this page, and you do have to sign in. I feel like if a member can't make a meeting and they just want to hear this great information, as a member, they should be able to access it, whether they registered or not. They don't get a chance to do their commercial, but at least they can have this information. But it is available to PWN members. So just for those of you who are inviting guests, they're welcome to attend the meetings, but the recordings are only available for members, and they have to log in, or you have to log in to access it. So as soon as I get this recording up for Jonelle, you'll be able to log in, and you'll see the last few presentations are here for your reference in case you missed it or want to go back and revisit it. So that is it for the screen share. So let me stop the screen share. Go back live. So it looks like we have about 12 people. So what I thought we'd do, again, because we don't have as big an attendance as we normally do during regular meetings, I'm going to give everybody a minute. But what I'd like you to do, and part of that minute is do your commercial, but also share the one thing in your office that you love, or the one inspiration that you got from Jonelle that you plan to either work on, investigate, implement. Okay, so with that, let's see, why don't we start with Jamie? And if you have, okay, before I start, you guys, if you have 2 minutes, because Lorraine isn't here, some of you may have been signed up for a spotlight. And again, if you didn't know, because we're not going live right yet, you can sign up for a spotlight spot, which is 2 minutes. And because we're kind of extending exactly 2.5 minutes, or just do your 30-second commercial, or if you have 2 businesses, you actually get a minute. Okay, so Jamie, you want to start for me? And
Sure.
Get my clock online.
I'm Jamie Perry. My business is JS Perry Originals. Right now I'm conducting painting classes. It's a freestyle painting class for dealing with being homebound with Corona, or avoiding Corona, I should say, for relaxation, stress management, and just wonderful good times between people. So far, I've had students from Indiana, Southern California, and the immediate region coming and working with me every Wednesday. I have moved my demonstration area into my studio where I am right now, and I have been given another push in the tush by Jonelle in terms of my storage and lighting. I love the closet storage area, and I feel like I need to work on that. And also, from day one, the only light I have in here is a small pendant lamp in the corner. I did move a desk lamp in here, but it's all the way on the other side of the room. This is where I used to do my painting. So I thank you very much for those little nudges, and I invite anybody to join me on Wednesday afternoons between 3 and 5. Just give me a buzz.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to Pat.
Hi everyone, I'm Pat Gakatan with Feng Shui, and I do speaking, training, and I am now an author, which I'm very proud of. But I was really inspired from your presentation today, Jonelle. I have a vision board that I keep up all the time with where I want to go with my goals and stuff. I never thought about putting together a vision board of what I would want my office to look like. That's going to be kind of fun. I am going to to do that. And I think I am going to have an ergonomics person come out. So if you have a recommendation, or if you could put that on the PWN website, that would be great, because I know I have an old chair and bought a cushion for it, so it's not the greatest. So I'm hoping to do that. I'm using more technology now, thanks to Susan. I'm getting into social media, and I'm going to be putting together some classes on Teachable You. That's what I'm doing.
Good job. Okay, let's go to Renee.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to see everyone. Gosh, I've got a ton of things going on. Silver Lining Network continues to get its footing, and I'm excited about that. My classes, Enlightened Aging at Sac State and the library, launch on September 9th and 10th, which is like tomorrow. And I'm in the process of building out a studio, which we're behind in because we should be doing dry runs by now. So for those of you that have said, yeah, I'll come into the studio, stay tuned, because I'm going to sweep you up at the last minute and have you come in. But we're still working on it. We've had a couple of little bit of glitches, but we're getting there. So still very positive about it. Lots of great things going on. I love Jonelle's presentation. I have to say, man, was I envious of some of those rooms. Wow. My office, I have an amazing space. I have a deck outside my space with French doors, which is great. And so I can open it, and I've got, I can see outside and see trees. Anyway, so it's beautiful space. But I've got so much clutter in here. I've just got to purge. And, that's my problem.
Clutter is not a unique problem. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Deidre.
Hi, everyone. Deidre Trudeau with Brush of Creativity. And I am an art supply hoarder. So I picked out B, Jonelle, with the frosted cabinets, because I'm not getting rid of my art stuff. I never will. I don't even care if I don't use it for 5 years. I'm keeping it. So it's got to be behind something frosted or covered. Loved those French doors on the closet with the mirror vertical. Yeah, that was pretty cool, that nice reflective thing. I want to challenge everyone to purge something this week. It's only Tuesday, so you have all the way until Sunday to do something purgy. And I want you to post it. Post it on the fan page, the PWN fan page, and the group page if you want to. Jonelle, I loved your over the desk, and this is my over the desk inspiration. This was painted by one of my dearest artist friends who left me here in Sacramento and went to Seattle. So that's my way of keeping her close. Okay, I love everybody. I have a 31-day creativity challenge that you can jump in anytime from August 1st to August 31st. Come visit me. I'll show you how to get there. Thanks. Bye.
Awesome. Okay, let's go to Roxanne.
Hello there, Roxanne, Pampered Chef. The Fall Winter Catalog debuts September 1st. I am now doing September virtual parties. Ladies, these parties are so simple. They're so easy. I do all the heavy lifting. The host rewards are amazing. We are booming. I promoted last month. It's a great time for us. I love my office. I don't need to purge because I love my office so much. I mean, I'm in here all the time. I clean it all the time. I love everything that surrounds me. I'm thrilled to be here. My husband made it for me when we had a kid move out. So it's dedicated to me, and I get the whole man cave now because I feel like this is I just love being in here. In fact, I think I spend too much time in here. But anyway.
Nice to have space. It's the Roxanne Cave. Good job. Okay, Kay Pena.
Well, I'm Kay Pena. My business is Caregiving Naturally. And during our homeboundness, I became a doTERRA certified essential oil specialist. And I teach how to use essential oils correctly. Serves no purpose to buy essential oils and just put them on a shelf. I consult with you, and together we determine which essential oils and products will be most effective for you. I'll give you a little example of lemon oil. You can put 2 to 3 drops of lemon oil in your water, and it's good for purifying and cleansing the body, but you don't want to use the plastic container because you'd be drinking plastic. So check out my website, kcaregiving.com. And my second business is Juan Pena Studio. And I'm going to be promoting Juan's watercolor classes. And I realized that I'm one of his best students. So I've gathered most of my paintings and photographed them. And so I also have a stack of paintings to finish. And we're now going to make our Fridays paint day. We're only going to paint on, watercolor, not paint the house. So see Juan's paintings on juanpenaart.com. And what I like best about Jonelle's presentation is my office is on the end of a long dining room. And the divider is a printer that we're not using. And it's metal, and it's on a metal cabinet, and it's really ugly. So I like the IKEA divider because it shows light through it. It's not just a wall. So that was my big takeaway.
Good. Awesome. Julie.
Hi, Julie, Zap Design. Yeah, I've got a lot of color. I mean, my house is, when I looked at it and how it's built and everything, I mean, I've always had my back against the wall. I don't care where my office has been. I've got a window, and there is a balcony that goes down to the second floor right here. So, I mean, and that is orange and yellow. And I have a lot of artwork, and when I had a lot to begin with, and then when I closed Zap, I had to bring even more artwork in. So, I mean, it is wall to wall. It looks like a museum when you walk in here, and people just love it. But, it's like people always go, well, how did you coordinate all this? I tell everybody, if you stay consistent and true to what you always love, always, everything will go together. Don't be told because this is the trend or whatever. Do what you love and make it work. And I have got artwork all the way around me that I just absolutely enjoy every day.
That's amazing. So, good job.
That's my thing.
Yeah, it is your
back against the wall. Gotta see what's coming at you.
Okay, Jonelle.
Hello?
There you go.
Hi, sorry. I thought y'all heard from me. I didn't think I would go.
No, you still get a commercial.
I'm just so excited to be here. I am getting ready to start booking for holiday decorating. And so if you know anybody who hates to decorate their home and wants somebody with a fresh set of eyes to come in and do some decorating, Lori over here next to me on my screen anyway, she assists me with the decorating a lot of times, and we have a really good time with your current things, and then we just bring a few accessories to go with it, usually new ribbon or maybe something new, and it's a lot of fun. And so I also have done it for Lodi Bank and Commerce and for different credit unions and doctor's offices and dentist offices. So if you know of anybody, just let me know. Thank you.
Right. Well, Lori, you're a guest, and so we wouldn't necessarily offer you time to do your commercial, but if you want to just share your big takeaway from Jonelle's presentation, I'll give you 30 seconds to do that. Oh, we lost your audio. I thought you said
Jana.
Where's Jana? She in the second? Oh, there you are. People are moving around. I'm sorry, Jana. We'll come back to you. Lori, you want to unmute yourself? Okay, I guess her mic's not working. So Jana, you get to do your 30-second, 1-minute commercial.
Yes, I have.
Unless you have 2 businesses. Do you have 2 businesses?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes. So Juice Plus, I've been doing that for 18 years. I've learned so much from that company and just about nutrition in general. I just say it's nutrition that just makes sense. Whole food supplication in capsules or chewable form. And it's just a great product, and it's a great company. There are other things out there, but I really feel like the way they process the food is really important. And so you get a lot of bang for your buck. And then my second business is For Life Research. it is, there's no other company out there that sells what we sell. The transfer factors, which is a molecule that basically gives our immune system more knowledge, and so that you can respond, recognize and respond much quicker to things that are invading your body. And it takes a little more education. I'm having a Zoom Saturday morning, this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And I can kind of go into more of what it does. And it's taken away my allergies. I'm not supposed to make claims, but I'll just say I used to have allergies, now I don't. So you put the two together. But anyway, it just really empowers your immune system, and I'm loving that as well. So that's it.
Well, you have another minute because you have two businesses, and you can share about your office or share something else.
Oh, yes, I did want to talk about that. I loved F. It was sort of a corner office. It had sort of a slanted ceiling. It looked like it was maybe on a second floor or something. I love that little space. I don't have an office at home. I'm sitting on my couch, or I'm on the kitchen table. But I do have an extra bedroom that is so full of junk right now, I couldn't even think about having an office in there. So I think I'm going to have to purge a little bit.
That's a big purge.
Yes, it's a big, huge purge. But one day I'm going to have an office like Roxanne, and I'm going to spend all my time in there.
Well, it would be good to see per Deidre's request to, say what we're going to purge, take a before and after. So
Yeah.
each of us have a homework assignment. So take
We've been doing it since March.
What's that?
We've been doing it since March.
Yeah, exactly. So again, before and after. Okay, so I have two businesses. Let me reset the time so we can start. So as you know, I have been in technology for 50 years now, and I love sharing on Widget Wednesdays things that I learn. And because of requests from my mastermind group and other people, other clients, I'm going to be talking about customer relationship management systems. It's called a CRM. And you probably have some form of that in your life, but it's not a one size fits all. So tomorrow what I'm going to do is kind of explain why you need it, and you need it if you have customers. If you don't have customers, no worry, but if you have customers, you want to build relationships with them, right? And you want to have a system because you don't have enough time in the day to do all the things. You need to follow up with one customer, let alone dozens of customers. So you need something in place that's going to help you manage all that. So tomorrow we're going to go over the different kinds of CRM systems. I'm going to help you decide which one is the best fit for you, because it's not a one size fits all. And on top of that, I'm going to have a special offer. I'm going to help you set it up, because I know that there's webinars and you go, that's great information, and then you don't know where to go. So we're going to have that tomorrow at 8:30. Go to my website, expandmybrand.biz, to sign up. There is no cost, and it usually takes about an hour, and it's very interactive. And we're going to probably follow up a little bit later on some of the other diving deep, but this is going to just be an overview. So I hope you see you there. As far as my other business, the wine shop at home, it's kind of on hold because people aren't yet comfortable in doing parties. And I was hoping maybe in the fall it would open up, and I'll let you know if it does. But right now, just focusing on doing classes, doing more online things. And so I wanted to share about my office. My favorite thing about this office, which is my cluttery live in my space office, is when I was working for corporate, having a window was a big deal. For those of you who have worked for corporate, sometimes you get a cubicle with no window or it's shared. My favorite thing is I have a window out to my beautiful backyard, and I just restocked my hummingbird feeder yesterday. And so hummingbirds are kind of doing their hummingbird helicopter fight thing, which is very distracting, just another distraction for me. But also I have a bird feeder, and they finally found the bird feeder. So I have these little, they're called titmouses. They have a little top knot thing. I didn't know what they were. I had to Google it one day when I didn't have something to do, and it was an oak titmouse. That's my favorite thing, as well as you'll see up there, Jamie Perry original. Do you see that, Jamie? It's the Another World original. So that's, I surround my stuff with things I love. The thing I love about my new office, and which you'll get to see next time, is actually my combination home theater and office. Because I'm doing Zoom, I'm doing my Zumba classes in there now because I have a big monitor. So anyway, that's the new office. Okay, so that's it for me. So again, go to my website, getyourknittinggear.com, or expand my brand if you want to learn more about what I do. All right, hit the reset. Okay, so now it's 12:45. We have plenty of time for just following up with stuff. Let me unmute yourself if you want. What I'd like to do now is kind of share testimonials for each other. If you have something that you want to share about somebody that you've done business with, and this is what I love about PWN. I know you're continually reaching out to other members, doing business with each other, supporting each other through knee surgeries or whatever it is. And so we're keeping the networking alive, even though live networking has been shut down. So if you have something you'd like to share about another member, whether it's business-wise or just support-wise, please do so. The mic is open. Raise your hand. Oh, I see Julie.
I bought Tupperware, and I was actually surprised at how long it took to get here. I thought you just, like everything else, you order it and, a week later, but a month later it came. And I don't know if people are ordering so much because they're staying at home and they're making food and they are looking for storage solutions or what, but I'm telling you, I was just like, is it ever coming? I paid for it. Where is it? So,
well, I know that on sites that I registered, they're saying delay is about a week more than it might normally be. I think because of maybe staff shortages as well as poster overrun or whatever. So I think it's not just Tupperware. I'm kind of getting that for a lot of businesses I'm doing.
But it's really nice because the new you turn you take the top off and it actually bends. You don't have to fight it, or I mean, it's so nice to have new Tupperware. That's my excitement, huh?
Yeah, well, it's like nothing's coming today. I'm doing so much shopping online. It's like I don't get a package today. What's up with that? I have to order something else. It's like Christmas.
I would assume that Tupperware is like Pampered Chef and that their sales are dramatically increased. And so you've got the issues with the actual distribution center with the social distancing. So you've got that, but also you've got our regular supply chains. Our demand has increased triple-fold, and the supply folks, you can't call them and say, I need another 10,000 of those, because they're like, I can't help you right now. And then once it finally ships, and I'm sure Tupperware is like us, we're using every carrier out there, they've got horrible delays. So I'm sure that's what you ran into.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it is on the East Coast.
Very normal right now. Yeah.
And there's weather issues back east now.
Oh boy, I'll say.
Yeah. So.
Also, there's production. I know in China that they have been shut down. Remember, they were shut down for 9-10 weeks. Yeah. And so they're behind in production. Mm-hmm. A lot of things like furniture and things that we're getting from China are taking 6, 10, 12 weeks.
Yeah, I heard that about IKEA. So for those of you who are inspired by IKEA, I've heard the lines are crazy, especially when people are homeschooling now. Renee, I think you said that, right? Is that she was looking to stock her new studio and she went to IKEA and IKEA was sold out because people are homeschooling.
Yeah.
So they're buying more desks and office equipment stuff. Did you want to expand on that, Renee?
Yeah, no, literally almost everything that I've tried to get at a store, including going into like Best Buy for some cabling and some other things, forget about it. It's all, everything has to be ordered online and you're out, 10 plus days to get it.
Yeah.
So I had some furniture I was expecting yesterday and they said it would be here by 8 o'clock last night. It's still not here. So
are you tracking it? Thank goodness for tracking.
Yeah, I was just actually, you guys reminded me and I thought, I wonder where those desks are. So I'm looking right now.
Jamie. Oh, you're muted, honey.
Instead of getting all upset about that, use that time constructively to do something nice for yourself. And it will come in time. They used to say patience is a virtue. Well, when you can turn it in on yourself to do something creative or something to just settle down, that's really good for you too.
That's wine, right, Jamie? I think that's a glass of wine for me. Pat, I see your hand raised.
You got it.
I actually was just going to give a testimonial for Jamie, and you're absolutely right. if we do something for ourselves. And I took her little art class on how to use acrylics, and I took a couple classes, and that was so nice to just relax and do something for me. We have a tendency not to do that. And so I highly recommend any of this creativity that Jamie does or Deidre does. I mean, it's just so nice to have something positive during this absolutely horrible time. I mean, first we had to stay at home, and now we can't even go into Horta backyarda. I can't even go in my backyard because of the smoke. So doing something fun inside, painting or something fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took Jamie's class too, and I have to say, it was so relaxing. And she just gives you these fun little tips that, like, who knew? You know, hold the brush and do that, and it does this, and it's like, oh, really? So I highly recommend.
Thank you.
I mean, I've done the paint by number thing, and not that great, but Jamie really has all these little tips that she gives you, and I found it very rewarding, very pleasurable. And I'd love to jump in again, and my life's been a little crazy, but it's definitely something I'm going to treat myself with, Jamie, so stay tuned, because
Anytime.
yeah, it really just, it's fun, it's relaxing, it didn't take any time. It was, you have, at the end of it, you got this beautiful piece that you can say, hey, I did that myself. So it's cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jan, I thought I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, I have some Pampered Chef pans that I use every single day, and because they're so easy to wash. And so yesterday, my husband and I were at a appliance store looking at some new range tops and ovens and all that. And the new Fandango induction range tops. I don't remember, but you have to have special pans.
Induction? Yeah.
Is it reduction?
Induction.
Induction, yeah.
So anyway, I said, well, are my Pampered Chef pans going to work on this? Because I can't give those up. I don't know. He said
Was the answer yes?
He said if a magnet will stick to it, then it will work. So
Okay.
I haven't tried that yet.
Your stainless, the nonstick stainless is a yes. The traditional nonstick is a no.
Oh no.
Gotta go shopping, Jana. More shopping.
Anyway,
Anybody else want to add something?
I just want to add one thing. Now with all these fires that are going on, having come through something like this, if you're going to purge good stuff and give it to people who really need it, because there are so many people who are out of their homes at this point in time. Art supplies, if you do have anything that you do want to donate, the kids need something to do as well. So please think about everybody in this golden, orange, red, flame-like state.
Does anybody have an idea of where to donate? Because I've been purging some things from my closet, but I'm not sure with COVID whether to take them to the traditional, Goodwill stores or anything. Does anybody have any ideas on where to take donations at this point?
If they're nice, in good condition, Reinvent, right here off of Washington Boulevard is taking things.
Okay.
Renew will take
As
too.
art supplies, for anybody who doesn't know, Recreate is right here in Roseville off of Washington, and they are open. They're limited hours and by appointment, but they take donations for anything, craft, pads, paper, pencil, markers, anything like that. And they're re-kitting those. They're making kits for people to be able to come and buy for their kids, for things to do.
Nice.
So on top of that, I just want to say, for anybody who doesn't know, I write specialized curriculum for all kinds of organizations as far as art goes. And I, as of today, am submitting a grant for a integrative art. So it's art to music, music to art. And we're taking music students and teaching them fine art in the way that they would express music, but as a fine art. And we're taking art students and granting them into music classes so they can make music in the way that they make fine art. And I'm so excited about it. So if you know of anybody who ever wants anything really super highly specialized like that, that's what I do. And artists, anybody who has artists' relatives, have them look into the grants because they are so amazing. They've opened them up to individual artists, which they've never done before. It's always been on behalf of a not-for-profit.
Right.
Individual artists apply for grants with every organization right now.
I'm glad you brought that up because I sent you an email and I sent it to Jamie as
Yes.
well about the
I got it.
utility
Thank you.
boxes.
Me
Okay,
too.
just so if you know anybody in the arts in the greater Sacramento area, Rancho Cordova sent out a call for artists. They're going to be decorating, I think it was 20 or 25 utility boxes to make them more beautiful. And they're
Nice.
giving the artists a $750 stipend. So
awesome.
so talk about fun, you know, being able to use creativity to make the city more beautiful.
I'm on it.
Maybe. Was that, you're on it? Good, good.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I'm glad I said that to you. So
Thank you.
I think it's the end of September, right, guys? As far as when that date was, the
I believe so,
submission date,
September 30th.
September 30th. Yeah. So just be aware. It's kind of a, as Renee mentioned, September's close upon us.
Thank you.
So yeah, got to jump on it. All right,
you.
we are 4
Woohoo!
minutes before the 1 o'clock hour. Any final ahas, thoughts of the day, jokes that we can end this meeting with?
I want to say I love Kay's background,
Mm-hmm.
her environment.
Oh, that's her not wand painting background.
No,
Wow.
yeah,
No, Crystal K?
That's our house, Janelle.
Wow.
It's a little cluttered.
That's more than I have on my
Wine
That's
wall.
why I used the
glasses.
backdrop.
I like it.
Yeah,
Janelle, I loved your presentation. It was very inspiring.
Yes.
it was. So send me that slide deck, Jonelle.
Okay.
Again, for those people who missed it, this recording will go on the website within the next day or so. And I'll send out the Janelle slideshow and also put it out as a link onto that page. So you ladies, stay safe, stay well, do something good for yourself, purge a little, drink a little,
A lot.
fill in the blank, whatever
Laugh
you
a
want.
little.
Dance a little, laugh a little.
Dance, laugh.
Yeah. So you fill in the blank with something good for yourself, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. We're going to be having Yvonne Whalen talk about, she had to jump out. I thought I saw her earlier today, but she has to jump out. She's going to be talking about if there's a book inside of you, what do you do next? So we're all excited to hear about that. So anyway,
September 22nd? Is
it is September, again, right upon us, it's going to be the 8th.
Okay.
28th.
The 8th. And then we have Deidre is going to be talking about the 22nd. Do you want to say something about that, Deidre?
Just come fully loaded with an open mind and an open heart, and it's going to change your life.
Yay.
Yes.
Looking forward to September. Okay, ladies, you have a good one. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Stay well and happy.
Bye.
Woohoo!
Bye.
Bye.